What's going on, Guardians and Duelist? XCalion here with a deck profile for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And all credit for this deck goes to the TCG guy on YouTube. You can check him out. He's awesome. He comes up with these decks all the time, different variants of it, but so far this has been my favorite one. This deck is basically a one-to-one copy of his, and here's the brilliant thing about it. There's no URs at all. A bunch of SRs, but no URs, and it's awesome. And basically, it just relies on a few cards that lock down special summoning, like Jowgen the Spiritualist or Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. And we compare that with like Dimensional Fissure for whenever like hand traps go to the graveyard, they get banished, or whenever a card like Horus or Imseti goes to the graveyard, they get banished, which is really clutch. Clockwork Knight is basically gives you a 1000 differential, minus 500 to your opponent's monsters, plus 500 to your monsters. Super fun. So you saw the first duel, just really quick, real easy. This is it's laughable how fun this can be sometimes, because you know that there's somebody on the other side of that screen that's just raging. So here we are. We got another Fossil Dyna, and we got the Clockwork Knight, but he is going to open with Raigeki, and that's going to you know, disrupt me for a turn. And he's running Raid Raptors, so that's kind of terrifying at first. Though I do have the Wall of Revealing Light down. And I'm just kind of waiting to see what kind of attack power he gets on the field. But I don't think it ever comes to that. He doesn't summon anything in attack mode. Like, just summons everything in defense, which is, you know, yeah, it's fun. So no damage, no nothing, never even have to use it. So we get Dogmatic Punishment. Yeah, I get Jowgen, and there it is. And Jowgen's effect is you can discard a random card from your hand. I only had one, so there you go. And you can destroy all special summon cards on the field, but he is ready for it. He has a negate. Luckily, it doesn't destroy, but it does negate. So we get the plus 500 for Clockwork Knight, and he can't special summon, and that means that shuts down his extra deck. That shuts down anything from his hand, anything from his graveyard. He just can't do it. So he's going to summon a monster with 800 attack in attack mode, and yeah, he doesn't attack into Jowgen, and he passes his turn, and then, yeah, that's all she wrote for that one. Moving on to the next duel, though. Rin. I appreciated this person, because they let it go to time. They're not time. They let it go to points, to life points, which was fun. But yeah, he opens with that, and that's it. So there we go, and as you can see, my hand is looking pretty good. We'll open with Desires, and honestly, it's fine dumping 10 cards. You've got more than enough support in this deck, so it's not a big deal. But we'll summon up our Fossil Dyna, put the Moon Mirror attached to it, and we also we have the Battleground on the field too, and also the Dogmatica Punishment. So we're ready in case he does happen to pull anything. But here, people just don't read cards sometimes, I swear. Like, they just don't pay any attention. That's one of the fun things about this deck. People don't pay attention to it. We'll get Extravagance, we'll float into that, and dump the cards from our extra deck, and here we go. We got Clockwork Knight, we got King Tiger, and this is pretty much going to set us up for a game at this point. Yeah, unless they can, you know, come up with something. But alas, they do not. So, draw for turn. And King Tiger is awesome. Here it is. That's what it does. Summons a monster. Again, they don't pay attention to cards. They don't read them. Just destroys it. So here we go. We have enough for game. But yeah, go ahead and summon up another monster. And yeah, we're good. So that's 3 down. And I think 2 more matches to go. And then we'll get into the actual profile for the deck. There's a handful of contingencies in this deck for going second, one of them being Nightmare Phoenix, super handy. But Solemn Warnings and whatnot, like there's a few contingencies, but our opponent doesn't really have much to do here, so they pass turn. Duality, I love how Duality stacks with Prosperity, by the way, because you get the 3 cards off the top of your deck, you pull the 1, and then you set the other 2 back in any order you want. And then with Prosperity, if you know that one of those cards is something you need, then you only have to dump the 3 cards, and you can get that card in your hand. So yeah, always go with Duality first if you are ever in that situation. So here we get our Clockwork Knight, and we already have the other combo cards here. So Fossil Dyna in conjunction with Dimensional Fissure, Clockwork Knight, and Decisive Battle. And we'll attack into the monster, and then we set the Solemn Warning and pass turn. And I am unsure of what the opponent here had in mind. this game also goes to life points. But yeah, they attack into my monster. I don't know if they were expecting to get a special summon off of that or what. But yeah, I'm here for it. You get Extravagance, you love to see it, and we get a Jowgen. So that's just a little bit of extra support, a little bit more damage that we can do. You kind of just tweak away at the life points a little bit here and there with this deck. Nothing too crazy. Our opponent passes turn. They've got nothing. A couple of face down cards now, so that is a little intriguing, I'm not going to lie. But again, in this meta right now, like nobody really runs battle traps or anything like that, so I was pretty confident. And then even if there is something waiting, we do have the decisive battle, and we can dump one of our Albaz fusions to basically stop that destruction. So we're okay. We're in good shape. This match is over. So yeah, moving on to the next match. This is the last match for the day, and our opponent let us go first, so we open with Desires, and we do get a barrier statue off of it, which is a nice pull. That'll come in handy, and we already have everything else in our hand that we need, and I'll keep the Mage Power just as kind of a backup for later, just in case, because you never know, but it can come in clutch whenever you need it. And our opponent, Isa here, is running some variant of a Dark Magician deck. And I say that because, like, Dark Magician, I love Dark Magician. It's my favorite archetype of monsters. It's withstood the test of time. Maybe not meta, but it has potential. I swear, if they would let us have Dragoon, then, you know, it would have even more potential. But with Magia now, it's certainly a contender. But Eternal Soul, and our opponent chooses to get the Dark Magic attack, which could, again, be kind of scary if my opponent could special summon monsters. So we got King Tiger on the field. It stops my opponent from really summoning anything. So he'll get the Thousand Knives, activate the Piercing Light, and there you go. That's what King Tiger's good for, right there. At this point, 5,800 life points left. I decide to go ahead and stack Mage Power onto King Tiger, since the mirror is already on my barrier statue, and attacking for game. Easy enough. But yeah, fun deck, and here up we'll go over the actual deck profile. Okay, and now we'll get into the deck profile. We run 3 copies of Jowgen the Spiritualist, who's very cool. Similarly to Pachycephalo, has the neither player can special summon monsters, but additionally, if you're going second, he's good because you can pop a random card from your hand to destroy all your opponent's special summon monsters, and that, when paired with Dimensional Fissure, of course, sends everything to the banishment. So that's really good. Next, we run 3 copies of King Tiger Wang Yu. Just really good to stop your opponent's monsters from really doing anything. They can't really get going if you have him on the field, because anytime they get a monster on the field before anything can happen, they'll miss timing because he destroys anything with 1,400 or less attack. So yeah, very good, very cool. The barrier statues, we run 1 each for barrier statue of the Torrent and of the Drought, just because water and earth monsters are the least played monsters right now, so opening with one of them is also pretty good. Also, we run 3 copies of Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo. If this card is flipped face up, destroy all special summon monsters, but we don't do that. We just do it because neither player can special summon monsters, and he is a bit tankier than Jowgen, obviously. So paired with some of our spell and traps, he's really good to have on the field. Lastly, we do run a copy of Fierce Tiger Mongyu. All other monsters on the field lose 500 attack. Once per turn during your main phase, you can destroy all monsters on the field with less attack than this card. And we have a few cards in here that adjust that attack, and that's really handy. He doesn't come up as often as some of the others, but that's why I only run him a 1. Dark Hole, 1 copy, just because. Good field wipe if you're going second. It's great. Duality, we will run 1 each of all the pots, just because. 10 cards from the top of your deck for Desires is honestly fine. I like it. It gives you the 2 cards, the 2-card draw anyways. Every time I've ever used it, in this deck especially, it's helped me out. And then 1 Extravagance, 1 Prosperity, and that's good enough, you know. If you have already used Pot of Duality, and you know the cards that are on top of your deck after drawing the 1, then you can use something like this, or like like Prosperity, where you can just banish to 3. If you know what's on top of the deck as a card you need, you can just banish to 3 and get the 1 draw, which is really good. Mage Power, just to make one big monster. We are running a lot of continuous spells in this deck, so that comes in handy. Moon Mirror Shield, this card is just clutch for Fossil Dyna or King Tiger, any of them. Basically, if you don't know what it does, I'll just give you the quick rundown. The equipped monster gains attack and defense becomes equal to the monster that it's attacking, plus 100. So basically whichever is higher, so you can beat over whatever you're battling. And it's so funny because a lot of times, kind of like you saw in the video, they'll just keep attacking into it. I think it's like once per turn or something. I don't know. It's weird. Dimensional Fissure is awesome. Any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Who needs Dimensional Shifter whenever you just have this on the field the entire time? Clockwork Knight, super awesome. Turns all your monsters into machines. I run 3 copies in my Cyber Dragon deck also, but the biggest thing, apart from just turning all your opponent's monsters into machines, is all your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack and defense, and all your monsters gain 500 attack and defense. So it makes a differential of 1,000 no matter what. So that is pretty awesome and can come in clutch a lot. And then also you can banish it from the graveyard to discard a card and get an Earth Machine monster from your deck. Not really handy in this scenario, but you see the play. Decisive Battleground of Golgonda. Super good. Again, if a card, and this is a monster, a spell, or a trap, or anything, but if something's going to be destroyed either by battle or by card effect, once per turn, you can send a fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. In this case, we're running the 2 rares, Brugrind and Sprind. Because, again, we're trying to fit the SR theme. So, yeah, they're here. We can send it to the graveyard to basically prevent that monster from being destroyed, or card, whatever it is. 2 copies of Storming Mirror Force. You get it. Opponent declares an attack. It's really good if you don't necessarily open with the other cards you need. This can help you out, of course. 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Running a deck like this, it's almost necessary, especially if you go second. You get it. Dogmatic Punishment, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, send 1 monster with an equal or higher attack from your extra deck to the graveyard if you do destroy it. Now, that's why we run these guys, because basically they can allow you to beat over anything with that card. And yes, we have, there's the other cards, of course. You have like Garura or Intes or something like that. But those are URs, so we don't run them. So yeah, 3 copies of Solemn Warning, just in case. Again, we are unable to set up a Pachycephalo or a Jowgen. We have this, and then a Wall of Revealing Light. Just a bunch of vanilla stuff in here. The 2 high attack monsters to use for Dogmatic, the 6 of these that we can use for the Decisive Battle. These guys are whatever, but the Nightmare Phoenix comes in handy. Get 2 monsters on your side of the field, you can link them off, and then if your opponent has a spell or trap that's stopping you up, there you go. This is a really good deck. I like it. It's fun, and honestly, it's just kind of fun to troll the meta with this. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for checking out the video, and I will see you guys next time.